All right, here we go. Good morning, everybody. All right. I think we're good. I think the new title is up there. Something changed with Restream. I use Restream, by the way, if anybody didn't know. But something changed with Restream to where I have to update the entire page for the title to update. Let me make sure that everything's running with the audio. Yep, looks like we're good. That's a new messages. Somebody's here. There we go. Good morning, Vic. Good morning, ignorant thinkers. C, what's up? You sent me a DM on Instagram. Got you. Got you. I'll check my Instagram today. I'll make sure to. What's up, Hugo? Got a lot to talk about today, man. Can you believe there were actually like topics yesterday saying, could the Cowboys still make the playoffs? Well, they're thirsty. They're thirsty for clicks. Very thirsty. What's up, Mel Turtle? That was crazy. Who all has every day I listen to more and more of that Kendrick album, and I'm like, everybody, we're gonna get something in the Super Bowl around the Super Bowl time. Around the Super Bowl time, this wasn't it. This album was just like a surprise album that he just dropped. I was sitting. I think I told you I was sitting at. I was sitting at the school picking my kids up for on a Friday evening, and Kendrick. I looked and Kendrick had dropped, and the songs are just like they're ridiculous. I keep listening and listening and listening, but more tells me like this ain't it. Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, oh, but this is like a prelude to something that's happening big in January because he has this platform and he has this big message and all this kind of stuff. It's going to be more. You see my girls here this morning. Yesterday morning, she was my wife comes home and she changes everything. Of course, she changes all the rules. So I had her in a guest bedroom out there, and she said, "No, I don't want my guest bedroom to smell like dog. I want her to be out here." So I have her in the middle of the house, like it won't make the house smell like dog. But but she's out here now, and she was crying like crazy yesterday during the show, and I was like, I need to go help her or whatever because I don't like her crying in her cage or whatnot. And today I said I'm gonna try to have her in here. So I just took her out to potty and all that kind of stuff because she's still a puppy, so she has a tiny bladder. That's not a tiny bladder, but she still has to pee a lot, so I got to take her in and out a lot. So right here, I'm trying to have her in here, and if she successfully does this today, we might have a co-host, Sora. She doesn't care. She's unbothered about everything. Nothing bothers her. Good morning, Vic. Good morning, Greg. Yeah, that was the only the Cowboys topic they can talk about to get up views. But the first thing I want to talk about this morning is our boy, and we need to check on him. And I think he's got this. I'm talking about Michael Irvin. Who did y'all see Michael Irvin? Yes, that's what I wanted to because today I need to like actually play what Michael Irvin actually said on what's that show? Speak. He was on Speak yesterday, and he was like mad that the Cowboys won. He was like, "Oh man, this is just," and I was like, and his main focus, you could tell his focus was Dion. Like he really wants the scene in his mind. He sees the scene of Dion and head coach Mike right there beside Dion running the Cowboys organization. Shador Sanders at quarterback, and we get all this stuff for Dak, and let Dak go to somewhere else, and all of this works out, and I'm like, that's a lot, Mike, and you want us to lose so that all of that might happen, And it's just like the losing, it just didn't make any sense to me. It didn't make any sense to me. So I'm like, Mike, come on, man. You can't be really, one of the Cowboy fans that actually wants us to lose because you think it's going to be better overall because of a pick in a draft. And how frustrating we draft sometimes. It might be the same guy that we pick at 15 that we would have got at 12 or 11, because that's all we're dealing with right now. Like we're playing teams that we probably can't not beat. You know what I'm saying? This game versus Giants, we can't throw this game. So what you're asking, Michael Irvin, is for us to throw the Giants game, then go in there and throw the Bengals game, because the Bengals aren't playing well either, and they're going to try to throw the game too. Their front office will. Then throw the game versus the Panthers, and then you know what I'm saying. So you got to just like work hard to lose as many games as you need to lose to make some kind of significant difference in the draft, because once you get those first 5, 6, 7 players or whatever, 5 players, then everything else gets muddied. They go by draft value, but when you look a year or 2 years later, there's not much difference from pick 10. From pick 10 to pick 20. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, look at CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb should have been a higher pick than what he was, and he wasn't. So it just Yeah, exactly. They would screw. Exactly. Papatello said Seiko's on such a bad organization. They would have screwed that thing better. I was saying this to somebody the other day. The concept of losing and the acceptance of losing, when it starts to infest your players in your locker room, when then you start seeing quitting on the field, and we've been through that. They quit on Wade. You remember that? They quit, when the players just like stop playing, and then trying to build back from that is just like, it's not good. It's not good. It was worse off before when we came back with Romo. That's the time that I really felt it, when we were losers. We were perennial losers. We lost, and then we went to the offseason with a little bit of hopes, and then we come back and we lost again. Do anybody remember those days? We were losers. So I don't want to go back to that point at all. Yeah, I don't particularly like this quarterback class. Losing is contagious, man. And you just don't want people just like, okay, we lost this game again. What we doing tonight? And they just over there talking about, during a game where they could possibly come back. You know what I'm saying? She's attacked. What are you eating? What are you eating? I can't save it now, whatever it was. Rough days. Yeah, those were rough days, Hugo. Rough days. You just don't want to go back to that, and just like accepting losing, especially in a game like yesterday, when that would have been a crushing loss. That could have set the organization back, like to play that well, and then for the future Redskins to win on such a stupid play when he just hit McLaurin, and they went there, and let's just say they went for it. And got 2-point conversion instead of kicking that extra point, and won the game right there on the spot. Like what should have probably been an option for Dan Quinn. You know what I'm saying? But especially when you're coming back and you have no reason to be tied. You know what I'm saying? Go for the win. But if that happened, that would have been a crushing loss for us. Mike McCarthy would have had to explain himself on that stupid last possession where he just like took knees basically and ran backwards and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it would have been horrible. A loss yesterday, Sunday would have been horrible. A win is better. You know what I'm saying? A win sustains us. But a loss last Sunday, can you imagine the laughter, the memes, the ha-has, all this that would have came from that loss on Sunday? And some Cowboy fans were wishing for that. I want to know what that paper was. I hope I didn't need that paper. I think I successfully got rid of everything that I needed around here. You don't really need paper anymore. It's always a printout or something. I guess I'll be okay. If paper all over the man, Richburg, if paper all over the man cave, all I got to deal with, it's been a successful co-host. She's been a successful co-host. A loss on Thanksgiving would be terrible. Exactly. To a terrible team. If the Giants come in on Thanksgiving in front of the whole world, it would be funny memes for Friday morning in your TikTok or your Instagram or wherever you go. What's up, Mean Mugs? I would have accepted the loss. I wasn't wishing for the loss, but if we had lost, I would have accepted it. But the situation in which we would have lost, if we had lost, would have made me blow my stack. The whole Mike McCarthy not even trying to go for it on first down. I mean, not even attempting that. It still boils me to the sitting here that we didn't try to get that first down. We didn't have 3 good plays that we could run and try to get that first down, because the difference of running back and running this way and taking a knee was like 4 seconds, 5 seconds difference. Wasn't much difference at all. You know what I'm saying? So just if we had given the ball to Rico and Rico had got 4 yards and then 3 yards and then 4 yards again, first down, it would have just blown the stadium apart. I would have exploded here. You know what I'm saying? It would have been such a ending instead of I think we can win. Let's do the right thing so we can win. It was so weak. It was so anti. What's the Detroit coach? It was so anti him. It's ridiculous. And I'm like, I know you don't want to be overly aggressive all the time. And the aggressive that I'm talking about is the throwing the ball. That's not aggressive. That's stupid in that situation. But still, having your 3 best running plays behind your best run, you had 1 offensive lineman out there that was still balling. And if you have 3 plays that you can run behind that 1 offensive lineman that said, we're going to get this first down and win this game. I don't like the mentality that just took a knee. Dan Campbell, thank you. Hey, Kathy, thank you. I just couldn't stand just taking a knee. So a loss. Kathy, I know you enjoy what I'm saying. Yelling at people for wishing that we would lose. We do not want to go back to some losing days. We'll handle the draft when we get there. We can make a trade and move up in the draft. The draft is a whole different thing in itself. And if there's a player that's like 2 or 3 spots up that we want to go get, we can still do things to go get that player. We ain't gotta lose to get that player. And say, okay, player, come in. Just look at Malik Neighbors. Can you imagine what Malik Neighbors feels like over there in New York? And they're quitting. The front office just quit and fired the quarterback, and he's just sitting there saying, it's not the quarterback. And you got losers all around you now, and you're a rookie. You gonna tank to go get a rookie to put him in that kind of situation? Arrest McCarthy. That's the only thing. McCarthy is the biggest. He's the biggest question mark in my head, because that's what I put down here at the bottom. Because everybody is ready to replace McCarthy, but we have to understand that if you want to replace McCarthy, which all of us do, I do. All of us want to replace McCarthy, but we must get better by replacing McCarthy. We just can't replace McCarthy just to replace McCarthy and just think we're going to get better. We got to make sure that human being can coach better than McCarthy. I hoped the Dion conversation when Colorado was losing, I didn't want Colorado to lose. I was pulling for them, of course, but when they lost, I said, well, at least the Dion, the Dallas stuff will start, to fade. It hadn't faded. So please tell me how Deion Sanders is going to come to Dallas and coach better than Mike McCarthy. And he has no NFL experience whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? That's a stretch. It's not. I have a feeling it's going to happen to Angry Cowboy. Angry Cowboy says he thinks that Jerry is going to extend McCarthy. Go give him 1 year. Because just think about it, Angry Cowboy fan, and everybody. I don't know. Mozzie, let me look at Mozzie a little bit more, Hugo. But if Big Mike ends up with like 7 wins with this roster, this season, with these injuries, I mean, that's stud work. I'm sorry. That's big time. I mean, I can't. And also, Deion, we'll have to go through a growing process with Deion Sanders. And then, like somebody said, if Shedeur Sanders has a career like Dak Prescott, then Shedeur Sanders is a success. That's just that's the real truth of picking quarterbacks in the draft. You miss way more than you hit. You want Vrabel? I wouldn't hate Vrabel. But I think he's going to get extended. And in my opinion, this is how I look at it. Our roster is crap. And we need to do everything we can to improve this roster first and get some players out there. And if McCarthy doesn't succeed with the players out there, then we can upgrade them. Same with Dak Prescott. Get some players out there. If he doesn't have success with a player, then we can bring somebody else right there. But when you don't have, I said this yesterday, if you don't have a good roster, then you need exceptional coaching and exceptional quarterbacking. But when you have a great roster, you can get by with decent coaching and decent quarterbacking because the players are out there getting it done. Right now, Philadelphia is really doing that. They have an outstanding roster, and they're getting it done by jumping over people's heads backwards. And Devonta's catches, again, the wide receivers in Philly are the side note this year, and they're still making ridiculous catches. So up our roster, and then let's talk about quarterback and let's talk about coaching. Yeah, see, Kellen Moore, you look, that's a good example. Kellen Moore is rocking over there. What's the difference? He got players. He's got the top offensive line in the game. He's got the top running back in the game. He's got the top wide receiver combination in the game. He's got the best running quarterback in the game. The best mobile guy right now, the toughest one. So, I mean, it's easy for him. He just press play. Let's run this play. It worked. Let's press this. It works. Let's press this play. It's just easy. It's an easy button. So let's get the roster to where it's an easy button. And to me, I really think we can get there. But McCarthy's main thing. Swazi says, how can you approve roster with Dak's contract? LOL. And you still have to pay Michael Parsons. LMFMO. Swazi, stop right now. Go to Sports Track and go look at the Philadelphia Eagles roster. And go look at their contracts. Ha 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 ha. Laughing my butt off as well. How can they afford to get the biggest in free agency? And you know everybody's overpriced in free agency. They go out and get the running back that's the top of the running backs in free agency, and they got this wide receiver for last year from the Titans. That's one of the best wide receivers. And they go on defense, get this guy and get this guy and get this corner and get this dude, and then they go and get all these players in the draft and all this kind of stuff. They do it. It can be done. Look at San Francisco. Look how many people they're paying. They just paid Debo contract. They just paid Ayuk contract. He's hurt and all this kind of stuff. They just paid McCarthy. Ha, funny. How can you pay? You can do it. The teams are doing it right now. Don't be stupid and believe this rhetoric that once you pay a quarterback, you can't pay nobody else. Why are the other teams doing it? Kansas City's doing it. Don't be stupid with that rhetoric that come out of the Cowboys. Well, we don't have any money. We don't. That's stupid. It's about being smart and having understanding financial things, and the Cowboys don't. That's what you need to be laughing your behind off at. The Cowboys' ability to run a salary cap is what you need to be laughing at. Not that you're paying a quarterback the league, what a league is paying a quarterback. It's not like Dak is making all this money and all the other quarterbacks are making nothing. It's a structure, and quarterbacks make what they're going to make. Don't be stupid. We always crying broke. Exactly. Oh, we don't have any money. How can you pay? We didn't get Derek Brimley. In his analogy that just went over y'all's heads. You can't buy a bigger house when you live in a small. His condescending comment after that, crying broke, a billionaire crying broke. Sorry, Catboy and Daddy fail. Don't believe the rhetoric, man. He get paid more than Patrick Mahomes, but look at all the stuff over there. But Patrick Mahomes was. When Patrick Mahomes got paid back then, and Patrick Mahomes will go get paid again. He gets paid now, so he gets paid more. He's right there with Trevor Lawrence. When Trevor Lawrence just got paid almost the same amount as Dak, just a little bit less than Dak. Nobody talks about that at all because it's not a part of the rhetoric that people want to attack Dak about. You just leave Trevor Lawrence because everybody gets paid a certain amount, and the next year the next quarterback is going to make more than Dak, and the next quarterback is going to make more than him, and the next quarterback is going to make more than him because it's not about the individual player; it's a market. Jeez. Highest paid wide receiver duo in the league in Philly. Thank you, Sugar Daddy Williams. Thank you. And I need a ball. That team was headed somewhere. That team. And what happened? What happened to that team? That team started getting peeled off of I need a ball. They started screwing your quarterback with that team. They take Amari Cooper was the main peel off. Once you peel off Amari Cooper and didn't replace him with nobody, then you start peeling this person off, and then this person off, and then this person off, and then you get to this past season and you peel Pollard off and all these people off, and you never replace neither one of them. So you cannot get better and expect some better results. Or cannot get worse and expect better results. So yeah, we were tempted. We had a decent roster where we were going somewhere. And where did it go? Bam, 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 until right here where we are. Tell me I'm lying. Sports track, B macro. Sports TRAC. You just dated yourself. Quarterbacks should have their own salary cap. That makes sense to me because I mean the quarterback. I was saying this the other day when I was at the Lakers game. I said backup quarterback is probably the greatest job in America because you're part of a market that is way overpriced. You're making so much more money than most of the only teammates that make you more money than you are bona fide superstars that are on your team. And you are guaranteed a job after you have, played quarterback for a certain amount of years in the NFL because they need your experience. So that backup quarterback job, man, that's gold because you rarely play, but you make so much money. Good morning, Tori. We're having a capology session. Okay, what was my next topic? Oh, I hate the Eagles. I guess all that when I was saying about them having a loaded roster makes me just reminds me how much I hate the Eagles right now and how much I hate their front office. And it's the hate that I have for the Eagles right now is that I forgot what I was about to say because I was going to say something else. I didn't want to say it, so I stopped it or whatnot. But yeah, I hate the Eagles. I hate the Eagles a lot. And it was like I hate Tom Brady because, they do things so well that I'm jealous of them. They do a lot of things so well. I'm kind of saying what I held back. They do a lot of things better than us, and I'm jealous of them. And I'll just leave it at that. And I'm talking straight front office. I'm talking front office. Nothing underneath. So I hate Philadelphia. And next subject. The captain's just exactly, Woody Mac. The captain's just illusion. It is. But Jerry and Steven know it is. But Jerry and Steven are playing a different game to make sure they make a lot of money as well, because they have standards within the Dallas Cowboys, and if they don't make what they need and what they're supposed to make, then that year is a failure for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't care what happens on the football field. This is sports entertainment. They're producing entertainment, and as long as we're entertained, then we're giving them money. You know what I'm saying? So literally, that's why I didn't really take a stand. And I'm doing that a lot with a lot of them. I'm not taking a stand with my money. Like, I'm not spending another dime for the Cowboys. But the amount of money I've spent for the Cowboys has been very low. It's been very low. And that's the only thing I can do to make them understand that we don't like what they're doing. Because if they meet their quota with what they should make or whatever per year, then they feel like they're doing everything right, and they go on to vacation. So and that's how that tier of humans. That's how that tier of humans thinks. I would love it. We pretty much did ruin the Commander season. The Cowboys can still make a run to make it to the playoffs. They certainly can. There's a lot of football to be played. And I was telling somebody before we lost Dak Prescott, I was saying to some people that the first half of the season was really heavy with Super Bowl or bust type teams like Detroit, the Ravens, San Francisco at the time. But we had some real heavy hitters there at the beginning of the season. And it didn't go as well as we wanted it to go. A lot of them didn't. But then the second half of the season, we were going to have the Carolinas, the Commanders, and this and that, and all this kind of stuff. And I wasn't on the hype, the Commanders like most people were in the beginning of the season. So I was saying the second half of the season looked kind of different to me, So with Dak Prescott, I felt like we could have gutted it out and make it the playoffs, but it didn't make any sense because if we did make the playoffs, it would just be that first round, and then we're home and everybody's frustrated again. So it don't bother it. Sean Richmond said we're talking about Cap, but I'll never get over Jerry Jones. And I'll never get over. I can get over him not signing Derrick Henry. Sean Richburg, I can't get over the reasoning behind why he didn't sign Derrick Henry. We don't have any money. We broke. Crime broke. Billionaires crime, bro. That's crazy to me. B Miracle said, normally go to 2 home games, but he refused to go this year to spend thousands of dollars again. Yeah, it's like I'll repeat what I said many times. It's the when you're making money, you have two ways to make it, and especially for us on the internet with internet personalities. You can make them for someone upstairs, companies, corporations, Sony, Universal, all kind of ways to make money. And when we get money from them, then we have an obligation to do something for them. So there's like a contract with us and them, okay? And we have to fulfill our end of the contract to get our money, right? All right, people like Jerry Jones and Logan Paul, and all of their certain other people that I won't mention, they like to get their money from the masses because there are more masses, so they can get more money. So they'll get their money from the masses in a certain way, like the Cowboys, and they won't produce what you are they won't fill up to their end of the contract. So like our end of the contract, we won a Super Bowl, we won a championship, and we've waited 30 something years, and that's part of the anger and the frustration that's in our franchise. And he's not even, this year is the worst because he's not even attempting. There's no attempt to give us what we've been asking for 30 years. So I mean, I don't know what we can do other than to financially say, hey man, I can't do this with you anymore right now because you're not meeting up to your end of the contract. I know you're making all this money on your end, but you're basically stealing from us because you're taking and you're not giving back what's on our end of that contract. Because we're going to the Super Bowl, and then we don't go to the Super Bowl. You the one who told us we're going to the Super Bowl. It's just as simple as that. Jerry looks for excuses. No. You're going into my you're almost being a bad co-host. You're doing well so far. Just calm down. There's a bone. There you go. Grab your bone. Puppy energy getting a little anxious. I think my yelling in the morning is like, yeah. She's like, let's party. As a fan, I like feeling not expecting to win. Yes, me too, Keek. I love the feeling going in that game with the Commanders because, I mean, 11. I was geeked after I saw we were 11-point underdogs or 10 and a half point underdogs. I was like, man, they really think poorly of us. Yes. Cooper Rush, yes. That McLaurin 86-yarder did a lot for Daniels, and that last drive too. But the last drive was really good by Jaden Daniels, I will say. But if you take that last drive away and that McLaurin, it wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. Cooper seriously outplayed Jaden Daniels, and y'all would say that's the trash yards, that he got against a different defense that he couldn't, and that's kind of the thing on him that he can't beat man defense. And when you go to like a soft shell defense, you'll go in the zone, and then he was able to operate inside the zone or whatever. But yeah, during most of the game, no, Cooper Rush took him over. Me too. You know what? JJ the mom says, man, I think this fan base deserves a mentally weak quarterback to show you how hard it is to be quarterback here. 2024 is the get what you deserve year for me. So I understand that philosophy. It would hurt because I would have to go through that pain again. So I don't want that or whatnot. But I'm okay. Look, man, I'm okay with everybody getting what they deserve this year. I really am. It just let's leave it at that. Everybody gets what they deserve. If that's good, then you get what you deserve. If that's bad, you get what you deserve. And let it go. Daniel's got all those. Oh, let's talk about empty. Let's talk about my other. Let's talk about the devil and Daniel Jones. Let's talk about the other Daniels. He got those. Yeah, exactly. B Mac. He got all those empty calorie yards. That's what they would have been saying if we had lost that game. They would have been talking about how bad we played up until the end, and then said that Dak got all those empty calorie yards and that lucky pass to CeeDee Lamb. And CeeDee Lamb outrun everybody into the end zone. It would have been far more about CeeDee Lamb than it was. You're absolutely right. But the majority of the talk would have been how we got outplayed, how Dak got outplayed by the backup, Cooper Rush, the complement of a Cooper Rush backup, how Dak got outplayed by him. That would have been a straight storyline. You're absolutely right. I just went through it in my head right there, B. Macron. I hadn't even thought about it, and I'm 100% correct. Good morning, Spark. I'm just taking these a win or a loss. I'll take it. I'll accept it. My issue right now is McCarthy. 3-12 win seasons that's hard to do. That's hard to do. And we see the roster every year, as I explained to somebody earlier. I can't remember who, but the roster got worse and worse and worse and worse until here it is right now. And if he gets like 7 wins this year with this roster, with all these injuries and all this kind of stuff, that's kind of big. That's kind of big. So I could see that. However, the bad part of this kind of stuff is I can't take any more of this game management stuff. If we had lost that game versus Commanders with that week taking a knee and running backwards and not even trying to get the first down at the end of the game, I would have lost my mind. I would have literally lost my mind. I would have. So we need to do something as far as game management. If we need to get some kind of specialist in, we need to force him to pay 900 minutes of Madden in close game, just come in the fourth quarter and get and but I'm serious, because you learn how to do these things and make these decisions quickly. Oh, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to play this, I got to do this. It's like he doesn't get it, and every time he makes this, it's like he makes the wrong decision. Yeah, we still have a chance. Yeah. No, I'm with the players, because I don't want the players to accept losing. I don't want them to get in a place where they say, okay, if we lose, and then my mentality does not think there's like a player that is good enough that's coming in the draft that's going to be able to change this franchise. We need a roster. We don't need a player. We need a roster. That's my point. Michael Hooper says, my problem is when you're on your last leg and ownership gives you no help to keep your job. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Michael Hooper. You can't, I can't, I said that earlier in the podcast. It's hard for me to blame the quarterback and the coach. However, you see the quarterback not doing everything you want him to do, and you see the coach not doing everything he wants him to do. But when you know for a fact that stick some more paper. When you know for a fact that the roster is bad. Wow, she ripped that thing up fast. No. It wasn't anything. Oh no, it's just my Madden stuff. No, here, do this. Do that. Yeah. Isn't that what you're supposed to do when they're eating something they're not supposed to eat? You're supposed to replace it with something they're supposed to be eating. Come on, co-host. That was strike one. You've been doing great. Maddenlytics. That's perfect, sugar daddy. Exactly. What's up, Daniel? Screw tank. Yeah, I can't do the tanking, man. All the ridiculous jokes and all the stupidness, and then people talking bad about you. Ugh, no. Let's just if we stay in the middle area, just float here. We could just have fun, watch other teams, knowing we're not going to go to those Super Bowl, and just enjoy football. But if we start losing and losing and losing, we're going to disconnect from football. I think he might end up with like he's got 4 now. Spark. Just think he's got that's my new dog. That's Sora. Okay, we have 4 wins now. Then there's a strong possibility we get the Giants win. There's a strong possibility we get the Panthers win. Okay, you got those 2. Then you have the Bengals, who are not playing well, but that could go. That's literally a toss up. The Bucks, that 1 week the Bucks play well, next week they don't play well. You don't know what you're gonna get with the Bucks, but the Bucks should beat us, but that's still kind of a winnable game. And then you got the Commanders, which is a winnable game again because we just beat them and we outplayed them. We outplayed them severely, and the only way they came back is those passes at the end, that last drive and that pass at the end. And then we have the Eagles again. And what somebody said, and I said it too. Somebody said if you go back and look at that Eagles game, it was our screw ups. It was a lot of our screw ups. The CD not be able to see the ball, that was 7 points off the board. Zeke fumbling at the 1, that was 7 points off the board. It was just a lot of stuff. It was kind of like the stuff that happened, against the Commanders last week when we missed those back-to-back field goals. But we overcame it. We overcame it last week. We didn't overcome it with the Eagles because the Eagles were too good of a football team to overcome it, and the Commanders just aren't where the Eagles are. Yes. No discipline. See, yeah, I get you. Yep. No, I understand that. So that's 2 things. That's your thing, Spark. And my thing is he won't get game management. He won't understand it. So we need somebody. We need an addition on this coaching staff that deals with the discipline and the penalties. We need to spend money on a human being that's all they do, and we need to spend money on a human being that focuses on game management decisions at the end of the game. Because he's pathetic, and he's been pathetic for a long time. Guyton needs to go to the right. Guyton probably needs to sit down for the rest of the season and go to the right. And whoever made the decision to put Guyton to the left tackle, they need to be looking for a job next year. That was a bad decision. It was a tank for LeBron James. Now that's thinking. You saw us. You know what? There probably is some kind of metric, Garrett, because Rico has not been a problem. Rico has not been a problem. You know what I'm saying? So that equals success. So whatever the numbers, whatever the success rate includes or whatever, I kind of feel like Rico is there because we can't say, man, Rico sucks. We hadn't been saying that. Rico's been doing that. You don't see the talent. He doesn't have the talent of a Derrick Henry and a Saquon, so he doesn't have the top end of those two. But his decision, it's kind of like Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush's success rate was probably that of Patrick Mahomes or something last week. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, Cooper Rush ain't got not one named skill of Patrick Mahomes. He can't run nowhere near like he can run. He can't throw nowhere near like he can throw. He's nowhere near the guy that he is. But football's funny. As long as you can execute, you can have success. No, I would love to for Rico to stay here. I just said it in my mind, to be a part of the RBBC. The RBBC in Dallas. He would be an excellent addition. You put a Genty, Ashton Genty in Rico. Yep. That hurt somebody. She is just nice and calm, and this is the end of the show. You made it to the end of the show. Let's co-host wants to say goodbye to everybody. We're getting ready to take the no 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 you're in a black people house. You don't lick faces. You got to you're in a black person's house. We don't lick faces, okay? All right. But she wants to say good night. I mean good morning, and everybody have a beautiful day. You don't lick my microphone either, man. That's a Shango house. You got rules when you get up here. But all right, RBBC. All right, guys. All right, we'll see you tomorrow morning, man. Let me take my family to the airport. They're going to Houston for Thanksgiving, and I was like excited for a minute because I was thinking that we were playing the Houston Texans this week, at the beginning of the season. I was like, oh, I can go to the Texans game in Dallas, whatever. So I missed that game, and I'm glad I did. All right.